This is a piece of art.
Move over, Marvel and Luke Cage. The first black character to have his own comic book series is Dale Comics' Lobo. No, not DC's Space Spiker, but Lobo, a cowboy. The year was 1965 and Dale Comics, a struggling comics publisher, decided to distribute a comic with a black lead character on the front cover. This was very controversial, considering most comic publishers knew that the predominantly white-owned comic book retailers across the nation weren't particularly keen on showcasing any kind of literature promoting a heroic minority figure. Most copies of Lobo were rejected by store owners at first sight. Keep in mind that prior to the Lobo title, other heroic black lead characters were drawn black in the inside of the comic book, but white on its cover. For instance, let's briefly discuss Crown Comics, Matt Baker, and the Buddha controversy. Matt Baker was considered the first black comic book artist. Yes, even before Orrin C. Evans. Matt Baker was the illustrator of the character Buddha, who was one of the first black heroes produced by white publishers. A full 2 years before Orrin C. Evans's all-Negro Comics issue #1 and its Dick Tracy-like hero, Ace Harlem. Now folks, the first black hero is a highly debated topic, but we at Limited Edition would most likely award the distinction to Lothar, the super-strong partner to Mandrake the Magician in 1934. Buddha first appeared in Crown Comics issue #3. However, when issue #5 was released, the obviously black character inside the title would appear white on its cover. Publishers were most likely afraid to upset newsstand distributors and big box retailers like Woolworths that carried comic books. One interesting story in historical comic book mythos talks about, allegedly, how the legendary editor and artist Jim Shooter wanted DC Comics' Feral Lad to be the first black Legionnaire, but Mort Weisinger, then editor of DC Comics, said, "No, we'll lose our distribution in the South." Because of comic editors' unfortunate Buddha character mindset, black character lead titles would never survive complete runs, or even see the light of day, including the Lobo title, which would only survive to see 2 issues. Lobo's origin began at the conclusion of the Civil War, just as he marshaled out of the Union Army. Lobo is later framed for robbing and murdering the paymaster of a cattle drop. Now a fugitive, he saves the life of a drowning gold prospector who later dies and leaves him his gold fortune, only asking him to use his newfound wealth to do some good. As a very capable hand-to-hand combatant and an excellent gunfighter, Lobo decides to do exactly that, traveling the Wild West to prove his innocence, clear his name, and fight for justice. And much like the Lone Ranger who would leave a silver bullet as a keepsake to those he helped, Lobo would leave his trademark gold coin with the engraving of a wolf and the letter L. Well, that's it, folks. We've unpacked a lot of historical gems covering Lobo, another 2-issue gem. I hope you take the time to research important characters like Lothar, Buddha, Ace Harlem, and creators like Matt Baker and Orrin C. Evans. See you next time, and remember, please like and subscribe.
And this is a piece of art.